Welcome back to ExamLearn's videos. So in this video we're going to be talking about getting the angle between two lines again, except we're going to be talking about quite a difficult example. So it's probably the hardest example I've seen anyway, but we'll give it a shot and hopefully it'll make sense by the end of it. So the question reads like this. So find the equations of the two lines through the point 2, 3. Okay, so we have two lines that go through this point and they make an angle of 45 degrees with the line x minus 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have our axis here, we have our red line here, that's x minus 2y minus 1 equal to 0. We have a yellow spot there which is 2, 3, and then we have these two green lines and they indicate the two lines that go through 2, 3 and they make an angle of 45 degrees with this red line here. Okay, so I'm just going to scribble that in. That's going to be 45 degrees and again 45 degrees. So it's a tiny diagram, it doesn't really matter. But the diagram is more just so we get our head straight, okay? So we need to find the equations of these two lines, alright? So we know that they make an angle of 45 degrees with this red line and that they go through this point 2, 3. So if you remember back to one of the first videos, if we want to find the equation of a line, we need a point and then we also need the slope. So if we want to find, say, point slope equals equation. So we have a point, we just need to find the slope. All right, so what can we do? We're going to find the slope of the red line. All right, so I'll just do this here and say x minus, sorry, I have to delete that there. So we say x minus 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. The slope of that slope is going to be equal to minus a over b, which is going to be minus 1 over minus 2, or just a half. Alright, so put that down, a half. And also we know the angle that makes the two lines make is 45 degrees. So I'm going to call this angle theta, and the reason for that is we use the angle theta for the intersection of two lines. So I'm also going to write out the equation right here, or the formula, alright? So we're going to have tan of theta is equal to plus or minus m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 multiplied by m2. Alright, so in this we have theta, we have m1, which is going to be our half here, and m2 is what we're looking for. Okay, it's this slope here, that's equal to equatio. So I'm just going to fix that there. Equal to equation is what I meant, obviously. Sorry, so back to this. So we have tan theta, we have theta, we can get tan theta. We have m1, which is a half, and we're looking for m2. So we can set up an equation like this so we can solve for m2, and then we can find the equations of these two lines. So first, I'm just going to do this down here in green. We're going to say that tan of 45 is equal to 1, and that'll just make our question a bit easier. And the other thing we're going to do is, since it's plus or minus, we're going to split it up into two equations, just because we're going to have to do it later on anyway, so I may as well start from the start. Alright, so the points of information we need is that tan of 45 is equal to 1, this is m1, m1 is equal to a half, and m2 is what we're looking for. Alright, so I'll go bright blue. So I'm going to say 1, remember, so tan of 45, yeah, is going to be equal to, we're going to have plus on this side, it's going to be m1, actually I'll just write it, so I'll say m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2, and this side we're going to have 1 is equal to minus m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Alright, so that's going to be 1 is equal to plus a half minus m2, so we're going to keep it as m2 because that's what we're looking for, plus 1 over a half multiplied by m2. This is going to be 1 is equal to minus, okay, I'm going to keep a bracket around this, a half minus m2 again, and 1 plus a half by m2. Perfect. So now let's just work through this and hopefully we can solve our m2s. So I'm going to bring the bottom of the fraction up here, so I'm going to multiply both sides by what's on the bottom here. So we're going to end up with 1 plus a half m2 on the left hand side is equal to a half minus m2 on the right hand side, and do the same thing here. So we're going to have 1 plus a half m2 on the left hand side is equal to, now this minus you have to be really careful of, it's going to be minus a half minus m2. So that minus is going to change some things. So, okay, I'll just stick with this one for now, and then we'll solve that one later. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the fractions. So we're going to get 2 plus m2, okay, so 2 by this is going to be m2, is equal to, if you multiply 2 by a half, you're going to get 1 minus 2m2. Yeah, so we multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the fractions. Now I'm going to move all the m2s to this hand side, to the left hand side, and everything else to the right hand side. So this is going to be 2m2 plus m2 is equal to 1 minus 2. So it's going to be 3m2 is equal to minus 1. And our first one is going to be m2 is equal to minus 1 over 3. So that's our first slope. We're going to find the second slope here. Do the same. I'm going to actually first I'm going to get rid of this bracket here in the minus. So I'll actually continue this in yellow. It's going to be 1 plus a half m2 is equal to minus a half plus m2. So minus minus will make this plus. Yeah. Now I'm going to multiply everything by 2. So it's going to be 2 plus m2 is equal to minus 1 plus 2m2. Yeah. And now I'm going to move all of the m2s over to this side and everything else over to that side. So it's going to be minus 2 m2 plus m2 is equal to minus 1 minus 2. We're going to have minus m2 is equal to minus 3. Our final answer will be, oh, what's happening there? Sorry to quickly fix that. And our final answer for m2 is going to be 3. Okay, so there we have two different slopes that the green line could have. So we have m2 is equal to minus a third, or m2 is equal to 3. So those are the two slopes of the two different green lines here. Does that make sense? So now we can almost finish our answer. So the answer that the question is asking for the equations of the two lines. So we have a point, and now we have the slope as well. So put a tick there. So now we can find the equation. So I'm going to do that over on the side. The point is going to be 2, 3. Okay. So we'll say our point here is 2, 3, and we're going to have m is equal to minus a third, or else we're going to have m is equal to 3. So we're going to do two different ones. I'll do one in purple here. So to get the equation of a line, we have to use y minus y1 is equal to m by x minus x1. So again, this is our x1, this is our y1. It's going to do this hand side. It's going to be y minus 3 is equal to minus the third by x minus 2. We're going to multiply everything by 3. We're going to get 3y minus 9 is equal to minus 1 by x minus 2. 3y minus 9 is equal to, sorry, I should have done that. Minus 1 by x is going to be minus x. Minus 1 by minus 2 is going to be plus 2. And then I'm going to move everything over to this side. So we're going to have x plus 3y minus 11 is equal to 0. So that's going to be one of our green lines. And the second one, I guess I'll do in green. Again, we're going to have y minus y1 is equal to m by x minus x1. Y minus 3 is equal to 3 by x minus 2. That's going to be y minus 3 is equal to 3x minus 6. We're going to have minus 3x plus y plus 3 is equal to 0. I'm just going to multiply everything by minus 1 just to make sure that the x is plus. It doesn't really make a difference, but most people prefer it that way. So it's 3x minus y minus 3 is equal to 0. And you're allowed to do that. That's perfectly okay. So those are our answers. Those are the two equations of the two green lines here that go through the point 2, 3, and they are that make an angle of 45 degrees with this red line here. So I'll go give one quick read through that question again. So remember, it is quite a tough one, so you might have to watch it once or twice before it kind of sticks. And again, even if you don't understand it completely, if you can give it a good stab, you'll get most of the marks, and I don't think it's super likely to come up anyway, but just going to cover it just in case. So again, finding the equation of two lines through this point here, and then make an angle of 45 degrees with a line. So you have a point, you need to find the slopes of those two lines, alright, to find the equations. So first you're going to find the slope of your red line, your known line, and that's going to be, say, a half in this case, and you know that tan 45 is equal to 1. So that means you use your formula here, the angle between two lines, and you're going to get two separate equations here. So one of them is going to be plus, one of them is going to be minus. For your M1, you put in the slope of the line you do have. For your M2, that's what you're trying to find. So you work through that until you find your two M2s. And then once you have that, you can sub that back in over here with your point, and you can find the equation of the two lines. So hopefully I was clear there. It is a little bit of a complicated question, so might not have completely got everything, all the message across, but try and watch it again. Give one of the questions a shot in your book if they are in your book, and then see how you get on. But if not, thanks for watching, and just watch the next one anyway. The next one hopefully will be more help. Yeah, we'll see you next time. We're going to look at, next time we're going to look at splitting a line up into a ratio, which is kind of one little weird formula you need to know.